Well, hello everybody. How are you? Apologies for being late. Reason, I was talking to Susie Hey McRae for once. She made me a little bit late, and then I found out that my normal headphones weren't charged, so I had to change them. And then my internet wasn't working, and I had to change one of the SIMs. And here we are. So apologies for being late, but here we are. Hope you can. 30th of July. Sorry, as you can see, my internet is going on and off at the moment. But anyway, let's bring you up to date then. Nothing new in your OES. We are still waiting on ONews 8. I'm kind of thinking we'll see it this this week, but obviously that's entirely up to our CEO Mufareh. But that's my gut feeling that we will see it sometime in the future. And I was focusing. I am going to be focusing on News 7 and parts of that, and get ONews 8, and then obviously I'll focus on that one afterwards. And this is where I've got today's topic, which is from struggle comes strength. It was part of what ONews was all about the struggles that we've had and how we are stronger because of them. This is business, to be honest. So without further ado, let me share the screen with you. And here we go. So see it. Okay. So then, just thumbs up that you can see the screen if you can, and then we will get going. Cool. So much. From strength business comes power to the business world. Thank and over is essential for growth and long-term success in any business. That statement alone, on its own, okay, just wait one. Gene. Okay, let's get going once again. So, from struggling comes strength in business. This saying applies powerfully to the business world. Facing and overcoming challenges, setbacks, and failures is essential for growth and long-term success in any business endeavor. Let's just take that little sentence there on its own, okay, before we move on to why it's essential and all the rest of it. If you look at the history, right, of any successful business owner or business, they all have a very, very similar story. Doesn't matter which one, doesn't matter. You will see that they have had to overcome failures. One I do know about, which is the richest man on the planet, Elon Musk. He almost went bust, didn't he, when he was doing his SpaceX, when obviously he got those millions from PayPal. He sank it into doing this heavy lifting rocket. He was going to go to Russia, buy some rockets and moderate them and do all the rest of it. They wanted too much money, so he said, I'm going to build my own. And guess what happened? He kept failing. They kept blowing up. He couldn't do what he wanted to do. And he was down to his last try before he ran out of money, before it went bust. And it became a success. That's just one example. How many failings people have in business before they become successful. We're no different, guys. I used the analogy on OP Digital Blueprint yesterday with Andy, that we actually started off really well. Onpassive, when we got going in the September, we were off down the road. Everything was singing and dancing. We had momentum. We had thousands, literally thousands of people coming into the business, and it was looking really, really good. There we were on the highway in our Onpassive vehicle, hammering down this clear freeway, and all of a sudden we got sideswiped by the biggest boulder you've ever seen and taken off the road. It completely wrecked our vehicle. It blocked off the road that we were on, and we were left there on the side of the road. It took ages for us to get recovered. It took ages for us to recover from our injuries, and we had to then go out and find a new vehicle. Because that road's blocked, we had to find a different route to get to our destination. And that's kind of where we are here at the moment. We're just waiting for the new hire car to turn up to take us to our new destination. That's kind of where the stage of our journey in this business is. We know that everything worked. We know that we had the right products. We know that people loved them. We know that they worked. But we got taken out literally on our journey from the side that we weren't expecting, from something massive that was completely out of our control. But here we are. We're still here. We're getting a new vehicle, going down a different route to get to our final destination. And this is what I'm really excited about. And this is where we get our strength. We got our strength because we have that laser focused vision on what we're trying to achieve. So instead of viewing struggles as roadblocks, literally and metaphorically, they can be seen as opportunities for learning, adaptation, and building resilience. Now, don't you think that we have learnt from some of the mistakes we have made? Don't you think that we have seen better opportunities and learnt from what had gone wrong? Don't you think we've utilized this time effectively to be able to really upgrade what we already had, bring online things that we don't even know about, but mainly adapt to the present climate of what people are really looking for? But above all, it's taught us about resilience. It's taught us about how tough we really are. Why? Well, for number one, we've got a CEO who never gives up. do it or die. He doesn't know about giving up. He doesn't know about failure. The only time you ever fail is when you stop. If you keep pushing forward, you're never going to fail because you are still moving forward. And that is a key process of any business, is to never give up. Be resilient. Don't get sidetracked by noise. Don't get sidetracked by negativity. It's really important that you stay focused on what you are trying to achieve. So how is struggling fosters strength in business? Well, first, number one, enhances problem solving. Why? Because struggling forces business to analyze situations critically, identify weakness, and develop innovative solutions to those problems. This process strengthens problem solving skills and adaptability. One of the things in business that I've always noticed, and I've had 3 different businesses, in fact, maybe 4 different businesses in my lifetime that Jane and I have ran or I've run individually. And when things are good in business, you kind of take your eye off the ball a little bit. When things are tough, you analyze absolutely everything. Why? Because your literal business survival depends on it. How can you shave pennies and cents off something that will make the difference from you paying your bills? How can you adjust workforces so that you can be more profitable? How can you buy the same thing at a lower price with negotiation? All of these things add to a successful business. But if you're riding high, you take your eye off it a little bit, because you don't need to look at those sort of things, because at the end of the day, business is good, isn't it? But this is the difference. When you're struggling in business, it makes you really, really keen. It really does help you to be critical about your business, identify those weaknesses, and develop an innovative solution to get over them. We talked about resilience. Navigating difficult times builds a company's capacity to bounce back from adversity. This resilience is crucial for weathering future storms and maintaining a competitive edge. Like I said, you've got to be hungry for it. You've got to really want what you are trying to achieve to be successful in business. This is really what sorts the men out from the boys. That resilience, that ability to bounce back from any adversity. And it happens to all businesses, by the way. Who would have thought that the businesses would have been impacted from something that was out of their control 3 years ago when COVID hit? Would any business ever have thought that was going to be a problem for them? No, is the answer. And the ones that have survived it are the ones that have been resilient, the ones that have looked at their business of how to crop it, to get rid of things that don't work, all the rest of it. That's how they've survived. And this is where it really does sort the men out from the boys as far as business is concerned. It also develops stronger team cohesion. What is that? Shared struggles can create a sense of camaraderie and teamwork as employees and work together to overcome obstacles. This can foster a more supportive and collaborative working environment. Now, I'm not saying that that's happened with our business, but I'm sure that the people who are there now certainly have that ethos behind them. They know, warts and all, what has happened to Mufareh and the business, and they are working tirelessly and diligently forward to the conclusion of the next phase. They know what they were up against when they came on board. I'm sure they were told everything that had gone on. And those people who are working together certainly have got that shared vision and dream of our CEO. But it goes further in our case, definitely, because we are part of the journey. All of us here, we are part of what we see, and our solidarity, our cohesion, all the rest of it brings camaraderie and teamwork together, doesn't it, to overcome obstacles and keep that faith, that belief alive, not only for ourselves, but certainly for our CEO. He needs us as much as anybody for this business. Refined strategies. What are they? Struggles highlight areas where a business strategy may be flawed or ineffective. This feedback loop allows for adjustment and improvements to ensure a more robust and sustainable business model. This kind of goes back to what I talked about in one of my lives about how important it is to get customer feedback so that you know you're doing the right things. That is kind of the same thing. When you are struggling in business, you need to highlight areas where maybe your strategy isn't working or it's not very effective. You get that from the feedback and the analytics that you will get from your questionnaires, from people's feedback, etc. You need to adjust what you're doing to improve it so that you are more robust moving forward. Personal growth for leaders, entrepreneurs and business leaders who navigate challenges successfully develop valuable leadership skills such as strategic thinking, communication, and emotional intelligence. I'm sure many of us loudmouths that have been around, we have kind of gone on that journey a little bit. We have, I suppose, stepped up to those challenges and really learnt new skills. I've certainly learnt a heck of a lot over the last 2 years and honed my skills to bring you guys something that I believe is going to help you in your own business. All of these things that I bring to the table are going to help your business if you take them on board. You can decide to do that or not, as the case may be. But part of the things that I bring is not me saying this. This is what I've researched and this is what comes up. That is not me writing something up. This is the internet bringing all this forth stuff that I'm researching. So we should take all of this on board. We should learn from what we are reading. So essentially, the struggle is not just a period of difficulty. It's a crucible that forges a stronger, more resilient, and more capable business. If you adopt the strategies and learn from your mistakes when things happen, then it's going to make you so much stronger moving forward. The time comes when you actually don't learn from your mistakes. Then that's just being stupid. Why would any business not learn from the mistakes that you have made? If you learn from your mistakes, you implement them, you move on from them, and you become stronger because of them, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have a more better, resilient, stronger business than you had before. And this is why I firmly believe that when we move into the next phase, it is going to be exactly that. It's going to be more robust. It's going to be better than what we had before. It's going to have so much extra that we didn't know about because we have learned so much from getting knocked sideways off our highway in our vehicle. And here we are waiting on the side of the road for the new vehicle to come along and take us in a different direction because the road is blocked ahead. I can't wait for that. I'm sure that we're going to have more updates coming very shortly in our back office. Wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Own News 8 coming up. And obviously, when we do, I'll be here to unravel it a little bit for you and to take parts out of it that we can expand into other areas. Anyway, guys, apologies once again for the lateness and for the internet problems. Managed to get it sorted. And I'll speak to you all guys soon tomorrow. That's it from me. Bye for now.